Namaste, Galactic Family. Welcome back to my channel, Indigo Angel. Welcome if you are new, and if you're returning, don't forget to hit the notifications bell to continue to receive my messages. Today, I do have a current energy reading for the Aldebaran Starseed. I have received requests for Pleiadian and Orion Starseed 2020 prediction readings. Just know I am trying to wrap my mind around putting these together. I have came up with a Pleiadian 2020 prediction reading. I haven't came up with an Orion reading as the energy is just really intense through the Orion Stargate system right now. My most current information for the Orion star system would be the videos that I did post at the beginning of December. So please see those videos as they are still very relevant, bringing us into 2020. So I'm going to do my best, but I do kind of deliver my readings in accordance to the Stargate systems that I do feel are activating planetarily in alignment to the planetary shifts and what the Stargate systems and planetary alignments are bringing forth. So as of right now, that would be the family of Archangel Michael, the blue ray star seeds of the first primal light ray this star system is heavily activating. This does give natal influential spectrum housing all three systems, nakshatra, tropical, and sidereal. This would be anywhere from 10 degrees to 23 degrees Taurus in any planetary position in your natal chart. For January 2020, currently, I did just pull astrology for January 5th. Today in Denver, Colorado time, and the moon is transiting through Aldebaran, so this would be a quick accelerated activation for this star origin. There are several grid locations on the planet that do activate in accordance to this Stargate system. In the morphogenetic response to planetary weather, these happenings such like the fires in Australia, the earthquakes along the coast of New Zealand, and the Ring of Fire. Australia in particularly has 3 fires that have come together to form one giant fire at in the sides of Manhattan, and actually several cities along the coast of Australia are being affected. As many of you already know, you're very well informed of the status of this. The royal family has been sending their condolences to the Australian governor as they are having record-breaking heat, and I checked this morning, they're at about 111 Fahrenheit. So I am not located in Australia. I am actually in Denver, Colorado, but we do feel the effects of this equally and oppositionally in the United States and also other countries planetarily. We will feel this as this is a planetary grid distress signals, and therefore we do have reactions over here on the other side. And that can look like heightened emotions, inability to balance your energy. It does cause this internal biological temperatures to be shifting. So you might be too hot, you might be too cold, you might be getting chills, you might not be sleeping very well, you might just feel aggravated or otherwise just a little bit restless. You just feel that maybe your light body or even your immune system is just a little bit off. And so, it's just this feeling that something just doesn't, necessarily feel 100% settled inside your biological structures. That is because those structures in your body are responding planetarily to the events that are happening all over the world. So it's interesting because I did release an energy update on November 20th called Ley Lines on Fire, and it was more related to volcanic activity in accordance to that feminine ley line that does initiate impulses from that intersection point in Australia. So we had been receiving messages 2 months prior as to what was going to manifest in Australia between the 30-degree north and the 30-degree south horizontal ley lines. So therefore, it's just very important for us as grid workers, gatekeepers, to always be paying attention to the grid networks, the grid ley lines, and what they are telling us, because they usually do let us know months in advance before anything does happen. So Aldebaran would be delivering swift release, as this star does carry this encryption to deliver justice. Okay, so So we will be receiving heightened activations and transmissions that may be coming from the St. Michael's Cave in Spain, because in accordance to the Universal Stargate alignments and also in accordance to my equatorial map of the starry heavens, the royal star activations would be coming from inner Earth locations, as Aldebaran, Antares, and Fomalhaut all sit on the southern half of the equatorial plane. That does allude to underground planetary locations. Okay, so St. Michael's Cave in Spain. Also, we have the St. Michael's ley line that activates several grid locations. We have Skellion Michael, Ireland, St. Michael's Mount in Cornwall, UK, Mount St. Michael's in Normandy, France, Sacre de San Michele in Italy, Chiesa de San Galgano in Italy, Tempio de San Michele di Pragua in Italy, and I am totally slaughtering these names, but essentially this is all of the locations within that St. Michael's ley line, and the ending point is Mount Carmel in Israel. Okay, so all of those locations create an angular ley line that do seem to generate energy to the core of the Cygnus cross. And straight through into Göbekli Tepe. Okay, so this is going to be where a lot of this healing energy is starting to generate from, as planetary distress signals are sent to these more sacred sites, such as the Archangel Michael, Aldebaran Stargate grid sites, as this energy will then reinforce a heart chakra clearing, a purification from fifth density, and therefore a lot of this is going to deliver quick, swift deliverance and mercy and compassion in those particular dormant planetary shields. Okay, guys, so which is needed, because horizontal ley lines between 30 degree north and 30 degrees south, these are the planetary areas that consistently are recovering from fires, earthquakes, hurricanes, volcanic activity. So yeah, guys, let's get into the Aldebaran Starseed energy for 2020, January 2020. Okay, so Aldebaran Starseed, how I'm going to read today is we're going to go with the human aspects and then the galactic aspects on the bottom. So for the first human aspect card for Aldebaran, we have the sun, very connected to the solar energy, so a very high Christed photonic light energy that the Aldebaran Starseed, the Aldebaran planetary stargate encryptions are going to be bringing forth. There is going to be a surge of enlightenment, vitality, good health, love, and fulfillment. Okay, so this is going to be clearing a lot of this polarity and a lot of this injustice or just troubled relationships individually, planetarily, with particular engagements and contracts and commandments that have been kind of disrupting the moral behavior of humanity as we moved through a lot of this Stargate war energy, such as Antares, the Galactic Center, Cause Australis, Orion. So we just came through, a huge battle galactica. And so now we're kind of integrating these higher photonic lights, these higher photonic energies, such as Cygnus, Aldebaran, Regulus. A lot of these more healing, more settling radial signatures are coming through to, clear these misjudgments, these delays, these potential foreseen disruptions and failures and inflated, exacerbated individual and biological and planetary events. Okay, so we are going to have this clearing that does come through. So you can expect the planet to respond to this photonic energy that is going to be more clearing, more healing. On a galactic level, we are going to be, again, working out the balancing between our human nature and our higher selves. We are going to be focusing more on working. So there's going to be this mentality that kind of clears. We're going to have, it's going to be less on playing, and now we're getting back into, focusing on our work, focusing on our mission, focusing on our creativity and what we're bringing forth. There's this sense of really grounding right now as a galactic, as a starseed, re-embracing our humanism, finding that balance from our higher self to our human aspects and merging those qualities together to anchor in this innate knowing, this natural law, these prophetic abilities. Some of us might even switch into like an obsessive dedication to this point of just feeling an insurgence or this overall drive to create, and we're needing to make changes to our reality. And so we're going to be experiencing more determination, and we're just trying to tighten up the situation right now, because not only are we going through somewhat of a biological distress planetarily and individually from environmental happenings and things of that nature, and just overall planetary ascension and what we're all experiencing on a human level, our higher self does still feel this drive to take time for the healing, take time for the clearing, but then rebalance, and then just kick back into what we should be doing to keep anchoring in, keep accelerating, keep moving forward. Okay. So on a human level, we're going to have some new ventures that come forward. We're going to have some new opportunities within the physical. So some things that you have been waiting for, Aldebaran Starseed, there's going to be some obstacle clearing. Some things are just going to kind of shift, things that are outside of your awareness, outside of your higher knowing, things that you might not particularly have any direct hand in, but it's something that you've been waiting to shift. And so that energy is going to come through and kind of make room for these new opportunities, these new ventures. There is this sense of caution, though, just because everything that we've kind of been through the last couple months leading up until this point, now there's this heightened sense of caution, heightened sense of awareness. There's a little bit more visibility, 360 degree spectrum around you of other individuals, interactions, more awareness of your responses to things. So you might be more, taking a second to respond or react or say yes or say no or make that final decision. All of that energy is kind of creating this heightened awareness for you. But this is all about serving justice as well, because as an Aldebaran Starseed, you are sitting on the shoulder of the bull and Hyades, and Aldebaran does have this militant warrior protector hero kind of vibe, and it's a very deep angelic knowing, and therefore this star system is just naturally, intuitively a very guiding radial light, having Archangel Michael as its celestial, angelic, parallel counterpart integration. And so therefore, all of that's going to kind of play into what you're experiencing, and therefore it's going to apply when you're making decisions, when you're responding to things. So expect a clearing to come through on a human level. Some things are going to present in the 3D, but you are going to meet that with that deeper protector knowing. And so that's going to kind of be happening planetarily for all individuals, even if you're not an Aldebaran Starseed. So this can apply to anybody listening. Truly, if you resonate with this reading, then it does apply to your reality, regardless if you have Aldebaran in your chart or not. Those with the energy encryption that do hold this within their blueprint are going to naturally have that protective kind of vibe that is going to set the tone for anybody who's directly involved or relating with them or to them. So they're going to set that tone, and they're going to be the wave that essentially infuses that energy into the collective. On a galactic level, it's just simply saying that there is going to be a heightened energy that does come through from the galactic sources, from the stargate systems themselves. This is going to come from a very high order of plasma integration. And this could come, like I said, you might see more ships, more sightings, more contact with ETs and ultra-terrestrials, as when things amp up in energy, they present to basically let you know that they're there, they're assisting, they are a part of our spiritual identity, our cosmic identity, and therefore they are here assisting with that. So I just see a huge burst of energy coming through with that. It is going to be providing more reason and more logic. Okay, so as an ascended being, as a starseed, we do tend to hold our spiritual values very, very high in our knowing, but there is going to be time and order where reason and logic does have to come through. And so Aldebaran Starseed, you will be bringing that to the forefront for us to be using more reason and more logic in our daily decisions. Okay, so this is going to be providing more self-control, more ability to handle any type of volatile factors that seem to present, okay? Because it was almost like we had to be kind of thrusted into the fire, essentially. These previous 2 months, like, hey, get off your ass and realize that there is a lot of stuff going on around you, and you need to develop this core skill of being able to react in ways that you provide positive results, being able to provide diplomacy and just have more successful negotiations, okay? So there has been a lot of having to push the emotions aside and not be about like, oh, this is hurting me on an emotional level, this is wounding me, the time for the victim mentality has passed, and now this is like stepping up into this temperance energy and kind of taking on these imbalances, taking on any poor judgment that you might have had before, and re-owning your strength, re-owning your self-empowerment. You're getting through disagreements. You might have just came out of a lot of disagreements with a lot of people in your relationships, and you're just at your job. And so it's about, learning to get through a lot of this physical distress that the Aldebaran Starseed encryption has kind of brought us through. Also many other universal celestial stargate templates that we're activating that kind of, like I said, brought that energy through. Like I said, Antares, the Galactic Center, Cause Australis, the aligning to the GA and also the GC. Both of those factors were very, very, important to what we have experienced up until this point now. So Aldebaran coming through is basically, it's resurrecting the strength and the self-empowerment that's needed to put out a lot of these fires, put out this conflict, put out the rigidity of the mind. So on a galactic level, Stargate portals are opening to assist you with working harder to build your secure future. Okay, and you might find that this is a learning time for your human right now. Okay, so you're taking a lot of notes and you're throwing away the poor advice. You're learning to decipher through what you should be listening to, what you shouldn't. You can hear the reverberation in other people's voices when they're talking to you, when they are mirroring you in a way that you would like to be seen, but also in ways that you don't like to be seen. And you are deciphering through both of that data, all of that information that's coming through. You are clearly seeing what is meant to be yours through your mirrors at this time. You're also reading a lot of the encryption. So encryption has become very, very important right now because this is the guiding source. This is the guiding foundation to everything we're experiencing. I'm also picking up on Thuban energy is coming through a lot. So there's a lot of draconian energy that's clearing right now. And so this is about, becoming more humble, becoming more dedicated, and getting more comfortable with what you're reading through these encryptions. Okay, so this lady here, she's like basically reading the stone, and she's reading all of the inscribed words that are in the stone. And this is her discovering what messages are meant for her and what messages aren't. And so this becomes really important, particularly for the Aldebaran Starseed, as we work through all of this energy planetarily. Like I said, you are going to be the accelerators right now that do initiate individual biological and planetary healing. And therefore, you are the ones that are deciphering the encryption right now. So you're clearing encryption for the collective. And that is the information that is what is meant for us on a level of growth and consciousness expansion and what spirit is guiding us to become overall. And so Aldebarans, you are the ones that are basically releasing this for all individuals that are attuned into this collective energy. There also might be a sense of helplessness, but this is, if for some reason I just feel guided to say that as necessary to feel this, because it is defining you for a greater event to come. But I'm also receiving the messages that just focus on perseverance and determination, because that is ultimately your gift to the world at this time. On another human level, we have the Strength card. So that only makes sense that would come through Aldebaran. Aldebaran, you are very much connected to the other 4 royal star systems. So Regulus, Antares, and Fomalhaut, which are all the 4 royal stars. When we come into an activation with one royal star, we're going to come into an activation with all royal stars. They're all interconnected, and they're all very much a transit system for incoming seeding, materialization and dematerialization, all energies of transit that are coming through. The 4 royal stars play an important role for that dynamic that comes through planetarily. Okay, so that also would be transmitting from Polaris, from Draco, and the galactic center. So this is kind of like a foundational net or a foundational pylon. I don't want to say an implant, but it's definitely a very foundational set that does create a network of strength. Okay, so just know that Aldebaran, you're going to be the initiators of this strength, and you are holding it down individually and planetarily for many people who are attuned to that collective wave. On a galactic level, we have the 8 of Cups. Okay, so on a human level, like I said, I feel a sense of Fomalhaut coming in. So there is this very emotional wave that is coming through that's bringing spirit through. It is saying that there's a lot of inner work that still has to be done. Okay, so we are in the thick of a lot of inner work right now. That's really where we are. And we might have to withdraw from the rat race. We might have to withdraw from family and friends right now that have become very toxic to focus on what's true to our inner voice, and start exploring our true desires at this time. You might be feeling sensitive. You might be feeling emotional. Just take all of that emotion and do your best to channel it into your artistic creations, into your focus as you are bringing forth a new foundation right now. You're actually setting a foundation of creativity and a platform for others to come through and work on this energy as well. So I'm sensing a lot of Piscean energy, as that will start to amp up more as we get closer into the end of February and March. We'll be receiving more downloads, particularly from Corvus, Andromeda. There will be a more heightened sense of ascension that comes through. Aldebaran, you're like the warrior right now that's kind of chopping down some weeds. And you're holding a lot of vision right now for Starseed missions on Earth. So you're particularly, and you can see all of the galactics here coming towards the man working. So it's like the galactic energy is presenting, the stargate is presenting, it's coming forth. You can see it out in front of you, and it's presenting as emissaries of light to help you accomplish and serve humanity through these evolutionary transitions. Aldebarans, you do particularly hold the vision for global leaders and world servers. This is going to be starting to bring more worldly leaders together. As everybody on the planet holding Aldebaran Starseed encryptions does start identifying this energy inside of them, it is going to therefore inspire the administrative planning of world affairs, and specifically physical logistics and global infrastructure designed to support humanity through evolutionary unfoldment and global change. Okay, so overall, what I pick up from this reading, Aldebaran Starseed, is that energetically, you're providing the power to grow, the ability to rise, and the potential to be materialistically successful, but also offer a huge thrust of justice, temperance, and planetary moral dilemmas, behavioral dilemmas that challenge integrity. You are providing a foundation and a solidification of hope that is going to come through and serve justice for many that are connected to this. Okay, guys, so just remember, when success is presented to you, it's important to remember not to be tempted to compromise your position or go against your own integrity. Okay, because with this encryption, with the Aldebaran Stargate encryption, one may lose what they gained very quickly if you're not aware of these things. Okay, so overall, you do have to maintain firm principles, strong work ethic, okay, but in a very charismatic way, Aldebaran Starseed, because you do carry this deep desire to help others. You are a very strong warrior spirit, and you are the angel of justice. So namaste to you, Aldebaran Starseed. I got so much love for you. Thank you for being who and what you are on this planet and how you're serving the mission and the emissaries of lights, the Galactic Federation, the Guardian Alliance, and all Stargate nations, not just the Universal Templar Stargate nations, but all Stargate nations that are a part of our cosmic identity. Okay, guys, so namaste. I love you so much, and I will see you on the next read. If you would like a Starseed origin reading, go to indigoangel222.com. I also do have my book for sale, and you can find that on my website, indigoangel222.com. It is called How to Read Celestial Starseed Akashic Records, and I'd love to be able to share my new creation with you guys. So namaste. I love you so much. Have a beautiful day.